What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over the summer update for Hogwarts Legacy. They've given us the info. It's coming out, in my opinion, actually sooner than I thought it was going to come out, and I feel like opinions are kind of split. Some of the biggest, at least liked comments on Hogwarts are not necessarily positive. Ultimately, let me say this in the beginning, this is exactly what I expected. It's not much. It's highlighted by, I would say, one major thing, couple other small things here and there, but overall, this is not a major update, just as we were told that by Chandler as well, but for those that were expecting quest lines or things like that, that was, I believe, never a shot. You're never going to get that. There are some things that people wanted, like a new game plus / being able to change seasons kind of on demand. There was a few things I'm even seeing right now where it's like, can you please just give us those things? Or new difficulties. People kind of wanted that, like higher difficulties as well. Those things I think were a lot more obtainable, or a lot more like I think you could have got them. But ultimately, it seems like most of the team, if not almost entirety of the team, has been moved to whatever's next, Hogwarts Legacy 2. And that's kind of what I tweeted, right? Where it's like, this is fine. It's not incredible. It might not even get me back because I'm not like a huge photo mode user, but like most of the team is working on the next thing. I want the next thing. So I'm just going to show you the picture and we can kind of briefly go through it. Again, not much. So the summer updates on June 6th, again, earlier than I thought. You get a new photo mode, which seems to be pretty darn detailed. I mean, they give you some of like the filters and some of the things you're going to be able to change on demand, and it looks pretty detailed. And then you go on to the right, and it's just all of the more small things. So obviously the Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest is the big one, not being exclusive anymore. Resetting talent points, I feel like that's kind of a pretty big one, right? At least for some people. You get a broom, you get the mount, you get the glasses, you get the Azkaban coat. I mean, you can look at it, you can pause it, all that jazz. Not too much, again, but at the same time, and I would say the same thing I've said previously, I still can respect them for this. They didn't have to do, I think people need to kind of understand this, they didn't have to do anything. The game came out, the game did insanely well. Was it a perfect game? No, far from it, but it was a really solid first outing from them. It sold like never before. It did so well, and they could have just, most games in that situation, well, maybe not in that situation, but most games you just move on, right? I guess like Elden Ring comes out, it dominates, and then it gets a massive DLC years later. But you know what? That's all they've been working on, right? Like Elden Ring, the idea afterwards was, let's make a substantial DLC. It's going to take 2 years after it comes out, and we'll go from there. For Hogwarts, I don't think that was the plan. I think the plan is probably to inject it with more, whether it's live service, microtransactions, some money thing where you buy the game at the same rate we bought the last game, and it sells unbelievably well, and then they find a way to be able to get more of your money over time. I imagine that's WB's, what they want for going forward or for the next game. So for a game like this, in terms of what this game had, there's not much more you could do except for like a massive DLC. But again, I think all eyes have now turned to, okay, we're going to do the next thing. It's going to be huge, and then we're going to have some other things maybe cooked in there that could very well go wrong, by the way. But we'll see how it turns out. Like I'm kind of assuming the live service or microtransaction-y thing. I mean, again, we've talked about like the MMO hirings that they're doing, so I don't know what the next Hogwarts game is even going to be quite honest with you. But I'll take this. Is it going to necessarily even get me back? Not really. I mean, photo mode is excellent. Photo mode needs to be in pretty much every single game, okay? And it is in a lot of games. It normally comes after, but, it is what it is. But, it's very good for the community. I think it helps the community. I think, you see the artwork and you see the stuff being shared online afterwards. Photo mode is a big help for the diehards that are able to use it really, really well, right? For me, it's like, I'm not too big into, I don't really know how to use it. My eyes are just not artistic, I guess, in that way. I think I'm artistic in different ways. So you let me know what you think in the comments about all this. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.